Hi everyone, I'm Jen Buderick with Legacy Real Estate Group, and today we are here with Brian Burns of Lamppost Coffee. So Brian, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I started, I grew up in Round Rock and saw Round Rock grow all through the 80s and 90s and all of that. Married, I've got 5 kids. We started our coffee business in 2010 in a high-rise office building in downtown Austin, and then came to Round Rock where I grew up and opened our first brick and mortar. And then a few years later, we opened here in Georgetown, and then during COVID, we kind of grown since then.
That's awesome. So let's step back a little. What inspired you to open Lamppost Coffee to begin with?
Yeah, so the first time I ever went into a coffee shop, I was just a kid riding my bike around town, did not like coffee, just needed some water in the summer, and went in, and it was the first time I remember as being like a middle schooler, walking into a building and thinking, this place is beautiful. It was just hardwood floors, a limestone rock wall, just loved the atmosphere. And so they gave us some water and we saw board games, and we sat down and started playing board games. Eventually they came over and talked us into buying something, which is a good thing to do, that middle schoolers might not know. And so we tried like Italian sodas. I just love the atmosphere. And it wasn't until I started working that I had to drink coffee that I started loving coffee. And then, ever since my first time in a coffee shop with the aesthetic and the atmosphere, I thought, man, I want to have a coffee shop one day. And then over time, as my love for coffee started to grow, it's really turned into, something that I can imagine doing anything else. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the name Lamppost Coffee? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so I'm a big C.S. Lewis fan, and he has written like a lot of children's books, the Chronicles of Narnia. And in a couple of those books, there's a lamppost, in the origin story there's this magical world, Narnia, and in the origin story, the lamppost ends up becoming this living, growing thing. And then in the more popular books, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, these 4 kids find their way into Narnia, and this lamppost is like the way that they find their way back home. And so I love the idea of Lamppost being a place where people just feel like they're home, and it's just a way to find that place.
That's such a cool story. Well, so where do you see Lamppost going in the next 5 years as you grow the business?
Yeah, so we've been growing a lot, and we want to. There's a couple of things that we're not currently doing that we'd love to do. I really love the idea of coffee shops attached to music venues, and so we want to add some music venues. We've been roasting, and we've got some baristas that are just getting really good at their craft, and so we'd love to start entering barista competitions, roasting competitions, and mainly just continuing to provide a space for people where they feel like they're home. Every person that comes in feels loved and welcomed and genuinely cared for, and where we can really invest in coffee education and nerding out on coffee. So our slogan is "Love Coffee, Love People," and that in a nutshell really wraps up everything we want Lamppost to be. And so we love people. We want people to feel welcome to this is their spot, and we love coffee. We love teaching about coffee, learning about coffee, all of that.
So I love that. It's always exciting when people are excited about what they do and passionate about it. What is your favorite thing about being on the square in Georgetown?
Yeah, I love this square in Georgetown. It is very vibrant. There are tons of places to eat and hang out, and it's beautiful, all the old buildings. It's been an incredible location for us. And so, we love being here. We love the people. We love the aesthetic of just walking around. It's been great.
Very nice. Yeah. And so what is your favorite part about owning a small business?
I think it's the not sleeping. I love, I love it. I think if yeah, I would start all over from scratch again if I had to. Like, it's just, there's nothing like it. Yeah, feeling like you built something and that, yeah, it's very different than working for someone else. In a lot of ways, that's a bad thing, but in a lot of ways, that's a good thing. And just the accomplishment you feel when you know the direction you want to go, and you start seeing progress, even though progress a lot of times comes little by little. There's no other sense of accomplishment that you feel than when you see yourself getting to where you want to be, where you want the company to be.
That's great. Yeah, we love seeing all of our small business owner friends succeed, and it's always great when you see people who are very passionate about what they do. So last but not least, one of my most important questions, when I come here, what should I order?
Absolutely. So there's kind of a decision tree that we go on because it depends on if you want hot or cold, sweet or not sweet. But if you like coffee and sweet, our Lamba Latte is the best thing we do. It's our house-made syrup, it's a secret recipe, and it's our biggest seller. If you like not sweet and you like milk, a cappuccino is perfect balance of espresso and milk. And then of course pour overs. If you don't want milk, you can get a featured pour over with a single origin coffee, and try and guess the tasting notes before you look at the bag or something like that. And so yeah, it depends on what your style is, but and a hot summer day, a cold brew is really nice. So.
And now we're gonna go order a coffee.
All right.